Perfect.
Show them the guns one time.
Check, check, check. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Test 1, 2.
They're fighting back. Trying to be cool.
Thank you very much, Kate. A very good afternoon and welcome here to Los Angeles as PBC on Fox ends with a bang. We have a tremendous night of boxing this upcoming Sunday from Crypto.com Arena here in Los Angeles. On this Labor Day weekend, a special Sunday night edition of PBC on Fox Sports pay-per-view. But before we get to pay-per-view, we have a loaded afternoon and evening. We will start off at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time on FS1. A very important matchup in the super bantamweight division. The undefeated 19-0, 12 knockouts Raiz Salim put his skills to the test against Mike Plania. Plania, only one blemish, has won 11 straight. That at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time. 1 hour later, we'll transition at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time, live on Fox, as we have a matchup between two unbeaten super welterweights. Joey Spencer squares off against Mexico's own Kevin Salgado. And then at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time, PBC on Fox Sports pay-per-view. What a card we have from top to bottom. In our main event of the evening, we have a man who has been known as the boogeyman in the heavyweight division. At 43 years of age, he's still going strong, and on Sunday night, we'll be looking for the biggest win of his career.
Introducing RUIZ King,
ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with a record of 33 wins, 2 losses, 28 wins coming by way of knockout. Representing Kamage Kuba, ladies and gentlemen, here is the top 10 ranked heavyweight, Luis King Kong Ortiz. And standing across the ring from him, on Sunday night from the Crypto.com Arena here in Los Angeles, a man who made history at Madison Square Garden, becoming the first fighter of Mexican descent to capture the heavyweight championship of the world. On Sunday, he looks to get closer to going ahead and challenging for a world title.
Here is the first heavyweight world champion of Mexican heritage, Andy the Destroyer. Ruiz, so fluid, fast hands that woke everybody up.
He's hurt.
Incredible Mexican Rocky. Goes down, and Andy Ruiz has shocked the world.
That was a clinical destruction. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with a record of 34 wins, opposite 2 defeats, 22 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former unified heavyweight champion of the world from Imperial, California. Please welcome Andy the Destroyer Ruiz Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event live on Sunday on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. Andy Ruiz Jr. and Luis Ortiz, gentlemen, you can face off and look at one another in the final stare down. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen, Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz this Sunday on Fox Sports pay-per-view here in Los Angeles. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Greatly appreciated as we will begin today's press conference. To begin the evening at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time, we have a scintillating matchup, this one in the lightweight division, as we have Jose Valenzuela taking on a very tough and a knockout sensation, Edwin De Los Santos. I will start off with you, Edwin. You are a late replacement for Jezreel Corrales. What does this opportunity mean to you as you are a late replacement as you take on the unbeaten Jose Valenzuela?
Buenas tardes a todos, un placer y gracias por la oportunidad. No entré tarde porque me estaba preparando para una pelea la próxima semana, que es el 9 de septiembre en Atlantic City, y me di la oportunidad de que pelearía en PBC con José Valenzuela.
Good afternoon, everybody. And no, I was a replacement, but I was ready. I've been training for 2 months, and I was going to fight next week in Atlantic City on September 9th. So I thank PBC to give me this opportunity to fight Valenzuela this week, but I'm ready.
Edwin De Los Santos, ladies and gentlemen. Also, very big thank you to Felix De Jesus, our outstanding trainer. Now, Jose Valenzuela, you are undefeated, 12-0, 8 knockouts, a knockout percentage of 66%. 1,000 fans at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. You dispatched of the Mexican Olympian Francisco Vargas. But do you feel any extra pressure with your ex Valenzuela?
No, I just gotta keep doing what I do, stay relaxed, use my jab, and go round by round.
All right, now back to Edwin De Los Santos. Edwin, you know, 14-1, 13 knockouts. Do you feel like he's going to be able to handle your power on Sunday?
Bueno, esperemos que él pueda con el poder, porque no vinimos a un knockout. Esto es un maratón, no es una carrera. El knockout sale solo.
The knockout comes by itself. I hope he's ready for it. And of course, this is not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Jose, do you like the fact that you go from a guy in Jezreel Corrales who is typically a mover and likes to fight on the outside? Now you're dealing with the guy who has a high knockout percentage. 13 of his 14 wins come by knockout. It's not going to be too hard to find this guy.
No, definitely. You know, I'd like to thank him for, you know, stepping in and saving the show. I would have loved to fight Corrales. He's ranked, but it is what it is. You know, Edwin is a hell of a fighter. 14 fights and 13 knockouts. But yeah, I think he'll be bringing the best out of me, and it'll be an explosive show.
Assuming you get your hand raised on Sunday, you have mentioned to me that you want to go and take on the division's best. The division's best being a man who is separated just a seat over from you in Isaac Cruz. Are you still sticking with that sentiment that if you're successful on Sunday, then your next fight you would love to collide against Isaac Cruz, a fellow Mexican?
Yeah, definitely. But you know, first thing is first, we're gonna give our opponents the respect they deserve. Handle Sunday, and then from there we can move on.
All right, I want to go ahead. I'm going to jump around a little bit. Isaac Cruz, when you heard the fact that Jose Valenzuela says if he's successful on Sunday that he wants to go ahead and fight you, what is your response to his challenge?
Buenas tardes a todos, gracias por asistir y bueno, yo no le doy ahorita pues importancia a lo que diga Valenzuela. Yo estoy enfocado en mi pelea contra Eduardo Ramírez y bueno, hay que hacer méritos para poderme enfrentar. Gracias.
First of all, good afternoon to everybody here that came out, and I'm not really listening to Valenzuela. I got a date tomorrow that I got to take care of, on Sunday night, that I got to take care of, and to fight me, you really have to have the merits to fight me.
All right, now we're going to go to our second fight on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view this Sunday, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. Miguel Flores, Abner Mares will collide in the lightweight division. Miguel Flores' record, 25 wins, 4 losses, a dozen victories coming by way of knockout. Miguel, what does it mean for you to be fighting in Los Angeles against a man who's accomplished so much in Abner Mares, 3-division world champion, Mexican Olympian? How big of an opportunity is this for the man known as El Michoacano?
You know, thanks everybody for coming out. It's a great opportunity to add that name to my resume. Obviously, a 3-division world champion, 4-time world champion. You know, he looks like he's ready to go into the commentating table right now, the way he's dressed. So it shows you the type of personality he brings. I'm sure he's confident, but I'm going to rely on my preparation for this fight.
All right, Miguel, greatly appreciate it. Good luck on Sunday. Abner Mares, my goodness, you look dapper as always. Back inside the ring, your last assignment was here at Crypto.com Arena in June of 2019. After 4 years plus away from the ring, welcome back. Fans want to know, they've been speculating. Abner Mares returning back to the ring. What does this moment on Sunday mean to you against Miguel Flores?
Well, thank you so much. First of all, thank you all, man. Like I said, I've been saying it. I want to thank each and every single one of you guys that's here because you guys have been part of my career since I started. You guys see me grow up, do my thing in boxing, so I really appreciate all the press, everyone that's here. Thank you so much. And what does it mean? It's an honor, it's a blessing, it's really a dream come true, you know, sent from God, the universe. I thank, thank God more than anyone for giving me this opportunity because, like you said, it's been 4 years and a half, and to be blessed to be fighting in this great card, pay-per-view on Fox. I mean, this is an early Christmas and early birthday present for sure. I want to thank PBC, Al Heyman, and I'm just ready to do my thing. You know, it's something that I've been doing my whole life. I know how to fight with my eyes closed. I can fight at sleep. I do sometimes, and you know, it's just I'm just gonna enjoy the moment.
And one thing that we've been wondering is, at 36 years of age, for you, you know, we have seen various versions of Abner Mares, the boxer, the warrior, the gladiator. What are we going to see on Sunday against Miguel Flores?
You know what? I mean, I can sit right here and tell you that I'm going to be a smart fighter, box, you know, try to pick my punches. But, you know, at the end of the day, I am a warrior. I am a fighter, like you said. You can't train too hard, and I'll probably end up just, you know, slugging it out with this guy because that's my attributes. That's what I do. And if it comes down to that, you know, I train hard for it. I train really hard for it. I know he's ready. I'm ready. And regardless, I don't think you've ever seen a boring fight come from myself, from Abner Mares. So it won't be the different this fight, September 4th. It'll be definitely an exciting fight.
All right, thank you very much, Abner. Good luck on Sunday. Now we get to our main event. We will talk to our co-main event in a few moments as well. But our main event, a WBC heavyweight title eliminator, Andy Ruiz, Luis King Kong Ortiz. Let me go to my left, the Cuban standout, Luis Ortiz. Luis, you and Andy have been on a collision course for several years now. Now that we are merely days away until you step inside the ring to collide against one another, what does this moment mean to you?
Bueno, ante todo, darle las gracias a Fox PBC, a Jaime, a mi manager, a Luis de Cuba Junior, bueno, a todos ustedes por venir. Esto es una pelea que muchos hemos esperado, dos guerreros tienen el deseo de volver a pelear por título.
First of all, I want to thank everybody, Fox BBC, Al Heyman, my manager, Casiedo, Luis de Cubas, everybody involved with this fight. And this is a fight everybody has wanted. We're two warriors, they're in the ring, and it's a clash that everybody wants to see. It's been a long time since we tried to get this fight going, and it's finally going to be there this Sunday.
Andy, this is a moment you visualized for quite some time. I remember you saying that you watched Luis Ortiz fight here in Los Angeles, and your father said, hey, Mico, you're going to fight him one day. Now that happens on Sunday. How are you feeling heading into the showdown?
I feel good, man. I feel motivated, and it's the truth. The first time I seen Luis Ortiz fight live, my dad told me, look, son, you're going to fight him one of these days. And I was like, well, which one? Big guys? And what do you know, it's Luis Ortiz, and we're here now, you know? All the hard work and dedication, blood, sweat, and tears, it's all going to pay off, and coming in September 4th, we're going to get that victory.
Now we are here in Los Angeles, a city known for producing high-level drama. Luis, you have told me over the past several weeks that this fight will not go the distance. I'm either knocking him out or he's knocking me out. Do you feel and do you stick to that prediction?
Sí, sigo manteniendo lo dicho. De eso se vive el boxeo, de te noqueo o me noquea. Para eso entrenamos, para ganar, ¿sabes? Y lo más lindo que hay es ganar por nocaut en una pelea. Para eso nos entrenamos, para destruir a nuestro contrario.
No, I still maintain that. Either he knocks me out or I knock him out. That's why we fight. I mean, there's nothing more, in sports, the best thing is a knockout that you see on top of the boxing ring. So it's an exciting fight, and one of us is going to go down, and hopefully it'll be Andy.
Andy, is it inevitable that we are going to see a knockout on Sunday here in Los Angeles on Fox Sports BBC pay-per-view?
Well, I feel that's what his plan is, you know, just to try to knock me down. But we've been training really hard. If it goes all the distance, you know, if it goes all 12 rounds, it goes 12 rounds. If it goes the distance, it goes the distance. And I feel I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever he's going to bring into the table and to the ring. And of course, well, who's not going to want to look for the knockout and want the knockout? But when somebody goes and looks for the knockout, people make mistakes. People open up and they pay the price. So that's exactly what we're going to be waiting for. And, you know, God willing, that we're going to get the knockout.
I saw you in training last week in San Diego, and hearing the thuds when you were working with your trainer and seeing your preparation, I feel like this is the best Andy Ruiz we will have seen in your career thus far. Your father even told me earlier in the week, he goes, you were one way against Joshua and you were successful. He goes, but this is even a more better, more refined version of Andy, that you're in the best shape of your career. Do you agree with that?
Well, I feel I focus more on boxing, you know, boxing. Instead of in my last fight, I was focusing on my weight, how I was looking, listening to other people outside of the ring that I should look the part instead of being the part. And coming in September 4th, I'm gonna be the part. I've been training so damn hard to get to this moment, and me beating Luis Ortiz is gonna be another step closer for me to become a champion again. And that's what I've been praying, man. I wanna become a champion again, a two-time heavyweight champion, and God willing, we're gonna get that.
Luis, the odds makers have you as much as a 2.5 to 1 underdog. Andy is nearly a 4 to 1 favorite. Do those odds upset you, or do you pay no attention to it?
Para nada. Cada boxeador sabe que entrena un plan táctico para la pelea, y cuando llega a la pelea se voltea. Ya dije que el boxeo hay que amarlo porque es algo tan lindo que está lleno de sorpresas, y de eso se vive, y yo estoy bien preparado, al 100%.
No, I don't pay attention to those odds. I mean, I said this boxing is such a great sport. you come in with an idea, with certain things you're going to do, and it changes right away once you're in the boxing ring. So I don't pay anything to those odds.
All right, now we get ready for our co-main event. This one is a lightweight title eliminator. Every one of these fights, by the way, are exciting matchups, and this one as a co-main is no different. We have a matchup between Eduardo Ramirez of Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico, taking on Mexico City's own Isaac Cruz. Eduardo Ramirez, you have won 5 straight, fighting a fellow Mexican here in Los Angeles. Tell us about if it's pretty much solidified that we're going to see a war between you two.
Primero que nada quiero dar las gracias a todos los presentes, a todas las personas que hacen posible este evento y estoy muy motivado, estoy muy preparado, estoy emocionado de formar parte de esta gran cartelera y creo que no va a ser la excepción este 4 de septiembre, va a ser una guerra entre mexicanos.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for being here, everybody that's made the effort to be here. I'm motivated, I trained hard for this fight. And it's going to be another Mexican war between two warriors that have trained well and have come to give the best of what they have on Sunday.
All right, thank you very much, Eduardo Ramirez. Isaac Cruz, for you, he pretty much told me, yes, I am expecting a war. You have fought here at Crypto.com Arena last December, a valiant effort in a losing loss against Gervonta Davis, giving Tank probably the most difficult challenge of his career. But for you, are you anticipating another war, this time against Eduardo Ramirez on Sunday?
Bueno, antes que nada nosotros nos preparamos para venir a demostrar a la gente que no somos unos peleadores cualquiera, que somos unos peleadores reales y venimos a demostrar que estamos para los grandes nombres también y bueno, nosotros estamos listos para la guerra contra Eduardo Ramírez.
First of all, I want to tell everybody that we came here prepared. So we could show that we're first-class fighters, in my case. And, you know, against Eduardo Ramirez, we know it's going to be a tough fight, but it's going to be a war.
Isaac, since your fight against Gervonta Davis, you have become almost this quote-unquote overnight sensation. You have this cult-like following where the fans love you, they adore you. You can't go anywhere without being hounded by fans because of your style and what you've been able to demonstrate in the ring against high-level opposition. What does that response from the fans mean to you as you have gone ahead and progressed in your career?
Sí, totalmente ganamos el respeto y el cariño de la gente, algo de lo más complicado de adquirir dentro de este bonito deporte. Y bueno, ahora que lo tenemos, vamos a seguir trabajando aún más duro para...
And love of the fans. And we got to keep on this journey. We got to keep going hard. So you gain more fans and more respect with this.
I'll go back to our main additions. Luis, you being Cuban, do you take your nationalistic pride inside the ring with you every single fight, especially in this one against a fighter of Mexican descent, Andy Ruiz?
Bueno, esto es lo más lindo que es hacer, es lo único que he aprendido. La escuela cubana, desde niño estoy ahí, siendo un guerrero, peleando, ¿sabes? Merienda. Nada, me siento bien y como ya dije, es lo mejor que es hacer en el ring.
This is the best thing I know how to do, how to box. This is the only thing I know how to do. I mean, since I was a kid in Cuba, you know, I had to fight for my lunch money. So I'm definitely set for the fight, and this is what I do.
Now, Andy, we're here in Los Angeles. We know what the Mexican fan base is going to bring like. We're all expecting a ruckus atmosphere. You became and are the only fighter of Mexican descent to capture the heavyweight championship of the world. What does it mean for you to be a Mexican prize fighter?
It means a lot, man. All the hard work, dedication, me praying so much since I was young to become the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world, and thank God it came true when I fought Anthony Joshua, and this is exactly what I want to do again, man. This is, like he said, this is the only thing that we know how to do is box. I've been boxing since I was 6 years old. Never had a job besides working with my dad, and That's not the type of job that I'm working in for the rest of my life. So I had to work hard in boxing and follow my dreams.
Abner, you're making the ring walk for the first time in 4.5 years. You're going to make that long walk yet again, a walk where you captured 3 championships in 3 different divisions. Memorable matchups. I told you this many times before, but it bears repeating. You fought Leo Santa Cruz here twice. The first fight in August of 2015, you guys threw over 2,000 punches combined, a fight that will forever live in the history of boxing here in Los Angeles and for fight fans around the world. But what does it mean for you to be making that ring walk on Sunday against Miguel Flores?
Well, it's definitely a different chapter of my life. You know, it's a different chapter of my life. I'm in a different position, obviously, coming back after 4 years. And, I mean, those are memorable nights, you know. The Leo Santa Cruz fight, the Anselmo Moreno when I fought him at this arena also. I mean, when I was the undercard for Israel Vasquez against Rafael Marquez, I mean, those were just great fights that I had, you know. And you could just go back and look at them and enjoy them and remember them and memorable nights. But come September 4th, it's just a different chapter, a different time of my career where honestly I have no pressure. I got no pressure whatsoever to look impressive, to do, I don't know. I just don't have that pressure in my mind. I'm just enjoying it. Like I said, I'm gonna walk, make that ring walk, take my time, take a few baby steps and enjoy and let everything sink in, soak up the good energy, because you know it could be my last fight. So just enjoy it, enjoy the moment, and once I'm inside the ring, it's time to fight. I mean, we can't keep saying it enough. Us fighters, that's what we do. Fighters fight, and that's what I'm gonna do. And it's just a different chapter, my man, and I'm just gonna enjoy it.
All right, now Luis, it's no secret that you are trying to make history yourself. Andy made history for Mexico. You are trying to do the same by becoming the first Cuban to capture the heavyweight championship of the world. This fight is a title eliminator. How important is this fight for you to try to continue to once again challenge for the heavyweight championship of the world?
Todas las peleas para mí son importantes, pero esta es más importante, ya que es la próxima que tengo ahora aquí para el domingo. Esta es importante porque, como dije, nosotros, el ganador de nosotros tenemos la posibilidad de volver a pelear por el título. Y esta es la oportunidad de ambos. Esa es la importancia. Para mí es algo grande ganar este combate.
Now, all fights are important, but this one is especially important because the winner of this fight gets to hopefully fight for the world champion, to be the heavyweight champion of the world. So we know it's a stepping stone. So for me and him, it's one of the best fights, or the most important fight that we have in our lifetime.
All right, Luis King Kong Ortiz, back to you, Andy. Andy, you did it once before, capturing the heavyweight championship of the world. There is this question surrounding you from fans and the media. Can he do it again? What kind of statement are you looking to make against Luis Ortiz on Sunday night here in Los Angeles on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view?
Trying to make a big statement, not just for my family or the fans. I'm trying to make a statement for myself because losing all those titles that I've won on June 1st broke my heart, and this is another chance, literally another chance for me to become a champion again. And I do not want to I don't want to lose this, So I want to take advantage of this full force and do my best because I want to become a champion again. I feel I need that WBC belt to have it in my collections because I felt like I won almost all the belts, so I need that WBC belt, and beating Luis Ortiz on September 4th is going to be another step closer to become champion. And like I said, God willing, we're going to get that victory and look through the future.
Luis Ortiz, it is...
Estamos esperando que el domingo, que es ya que es el día, mucha preparación y hemos tenido y ansioso porque es ese día.
I'm anxious for that day to come. I mean, we both say whatever we want to hear, but we got to show it in the ring. It's just anxiety for a big fight, and we know what's at stake.
Luis Ortiz, as we get ready to let you go, your prediction for Sunday, September 4th against Andy Ruiz, and what are your final thoughts as we are merely days away until your heavyweight showdown?
Yo lo sigo retomando. Yo salgo a destruir mi contrario. Lo mío es ganar convincente.
Again, it's to destroy my opponent. That's what I want to do and win in a convincing fashion.
Well, he's saying the goal is to destroy his opponent. Andy, you're known as the destroyer. Your thoughts and your prediction for your clash against Luis Ortiz on Sunday night on pay-per-view?
I mean, that's what we're trying to do, trying to destroy each other, because at the end of the day, we both have the same dream. We still have he wants to make history, but like I said, I'm gonna have my hand raised up high, and I'm gonna be the one being victorious.
We got a great night of boxing coming your way on Sunday. Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz in our main event in the heavyweight division. Good luck to all 8 fighters, and we'll send it back to Kate and Sean at the desk. All right, you guys can get up.
All you guys can stand up and go right over here. We'll start off. Let's face off and hold up, please. Come on, guys. Let's start for the cameras. Right here first. Cameras to the back, two guys. Cameras to the back. All right, thank you, gentlemen. If you could please. We'll see if you can just stand up. Abner? You go. All right, guys, feet on the tape, please. Let's face off. Hold that, please. Thank you. All right, guys, here we go for the cameras. Right here first, please.
Okay, you guys hold right here.
TV's in the back, gentlemen. All right, thank you, guys. If you could please. Thank you. All right, Abner, if you could just. Eduardo. Isa. Guys, right on the tape. Let's face off. Hold that, please. All right, here we go, guys. Let's turn for the cameras. Isa, Eduardo, come on, guys. Here we go. Right here first. TV's in the back. All right, go.
Muy bien, Pitbull.
Venga, Pitbull.
Venga, Pitbull.
Have you guys run on the tape, please? Let's face off first. Go. Right here first, guys.
Can I get you both right here, please?
TV's in the back, guys. All right, let's give everyone a shot.
dependiendo de esta pelea.
I got it yesterday.
I better switch out my lenses. I need to switch out my
mirándolos y sentir un beso, si lo digo, no va a hacer nada, arriba de mí va a ser no, yo nomás me río, me sonriso y gracias a Dios que pues aquí andamos otra vez en la
Sí da miedo, definitivamente.
No me río, es chulo.
No miedo, este es feliz. Eso es, vamos a ver.
Toda la distancia, estamos preparados para hacer todos los 12 rounds.
Perfecto. Compañeros, Luis y Ortiz, no se lo pierdan este domingo en vivo y en directo por ESPN acá. Muchísimas gracias, hermano.
Contra nuestra pelea, pero sí estamos completos y estamos preparados.
Aquí lo tienen. Andy Ruiz, lo vamos a ver el domingo en los zapatos. Gracias. Andy.
I'm gonna get ORTIZ. All right, now you guys have each side, okay?
Whoever you want, man.
Cinco, cuatro, tres. Compañeros, en solo unas horas ya de la visita histórica de este domingo en la Crypto Arena con Andy Ruiz, mi estimado Andy. Me gustó la conferencia de prensa, palabras generales y demás, pero al final le diste la mano y dijiste, bueno, vamos a brindarnos el momento.
Sí, claro que sí, yo respeto a todos los luchadores porque nosotros llegamos la vida arriba de mí y cuando yo, antes que entro a la arena de ring, cuando voy a pelear, oro para ganar la victoria, pero siempre para que nosotros volvamos para casa con nosotros.
Sin duda alguna, oye, por ahí vimos que te empezaron a preguntar y dije, pero al final lo importante es que te cuentes ya, porque no noquear muchas veces termina peor.
Sí, claro que sí, yo nomás vengo a ganar y ser victorioso y eso es lo que me está pidiendo Dios, que me da la victoria y eso es lo que va a hacer.
Probablemente en una pelea que te llega en el pleno madurez se aprendió lo que se tiene que hacer, se tropezó cuando se tiene que hacer.
Sí, pero ahora es diferente momento, ahora me siento más fuerte, me siento más contento y más enfocado porque yo sé las cosas que ya tenía que hacer y las cosas que no tenía que hacer. Ahorita ando bien motivado y pues quiero ganar para todos mis fans y quiero ganar ese título para llevarlo para atrás para México.
Oye, habías dicho que no ibas a trabajar mucho en el tema físico y demás, para que en las fotos y trabajaste, pues
no, nomás unos taquitos en las tardes, nada duro. Pero claro, sí trabajamos duro, pero más en la condición y en el posición.
Oye, el equipo ahí con la Zuna, con el Moya, los últimos detalles, ¿cómo se ha trabajado?
muy bien, mucho en las manoplas, mucha rapidez, explosividad. No trabajamos mucho en el peso porque queremos estar fuerte, porque yo sé que los golpes de él van a estar duros. Yo creo que teniendo un poco más peso, yo voy a recibir los golpes bien de él y pues, también mis golpes van a estar más fuertes también.
La clave para esta batalla,
La velocidad, las combinaciones y hacerse listo.
por último, mi estimado, una batalla que te puede depositar en lo más alto, puede colocar, por ahí se habla de Wilder o de
Sí, claro que sí, la división de ahorita está arriba y más de los pesos pesados. Ahorita quiero ganar la pelea esta y si Dios quiere ganamos el futuro.
¿Te gusta la palabra renacer?
Sí, renacer.
Relanzar. Bueno, veamos entonces. Andy Ruiz, no se lo pierdan en vivo y en directo este domingo por ES Puro Cable.
No, it's okay, my fault too. I know you're U.S. Brown.
Ahorita le digo, ¿me va? Sí, sí. Okay. Let's go out this way.
All right, for anybody that wants Andy, please come get him.
Andy, when was the last time you did face a southpaw? I know you said it's the first one in the professional career. When was the last time?
In the amateurs, and especially from the sparring that we've been doing.
So you don't? It's so long ago you don't even remember when the last time?
Yeah.
When was the last time you had to make weight? That was. I know you said you've been boxing since you were 6.
In my last fight, I had to make weight because I had a meta that I wanted to be at 252 or something like that. But I'm not making weight or nothing. I feel good. I feel strong, and I feel that's the way that I should be.
We saw you in the little promo cut, man. You look in excellent shape, man. You look ripped.
Yeah, no, I don't want to say ripped or anything like that, but I feel good. I feel strong, and something that I didn't have to focus on weight or nothing like that. I just ate good. I trained hard, and getting ready for this hard fight.
Why do you think you approached things like that in the last fight and you realized that, you know what, that ain't me, like, that don't work for me?
I think for listening to other people outside of the ring, I had to get back to my roots. I had to get back to that gordito power because I feel that's the way that I feel good. I'm explosive, I'm strong, and being light and trying to look buff doesn't get me nowhere.
He's part to Ortiz right now. He definitely feels he's bitten off heading into this fight, so it looks like he's very anxious for Sunday to step in there and prove everybody wrong. But you also have a point to prove, like you said, for yourself, to show that you can go back and get that belt that you said that's missing.
Exactly, man. This is exactly why we picked RUIZ Ortiz because we like challenges. We knew that he was going to come in, and we knew that he was going to be a dangerous fight. But like I said, I did everything that I had to do right. I trained really hard. I bust my ass off, sparring the lefties, and I did good, man. I could really box around. I could really adapt to the lefties. So when they say when's the last time you ever fought a lefty, it's going to be today. Sunday.
From a personal standpoint, what did it take for you to make all these changes? And you said this is what I need to do. How hard was it? Because you had to let some people go, you had to add some people, you had to really search and find what will work for you.
I just needed to focus. I think once you make a decision in your mind and you're like, man, you know what, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to become champion again, and you're gonna do it, because our mind is the strongest thing in our body. So I just said, you know what, I'm gonna open up my own gym, I'm gonna have my own team, I'm gonna have my own little facility, and that's exactly what I did, and I feel that's why I did all the hard work, that's why I've been busting my ass off, and that's exactly why we're gonna get this victory.
And to elaborate more, how different is it? Cutting weight, how exhausting can it be to getting ready for the fight?
It's exhausting, man. Like I said, a lot of people risk their lives. They lose their lives just to make weight, and especially now making weight at a certain time that when you should. But I don't know. I feel good, man. I feel like I'm ready to go eat some tacos, and when I step in the scale on Saturday, it's not going to be a big deal.
Andy, how was that face-off with Luis earlier?
It was good, man. I had so many different face-offs, and other people cussed me out, but I feel me and him, we have respect for each other, you know, and I have respect for every single fighter that I fight or that I see, or people that get in the ring, because we all risk our lives in there, you know. There's people, I have friends that have died inside that ring, so I don't know. Even if he was trying to talk shit or nothing or something, I was just still smile and just say good luck.
How do you, like, size-wise? Like, obviously you fought Joshua, you fought some big guys, but like size-wise, how did it look to you when you were kind of sizing him up?
Not that big, man. Not that big. I think my whole life I've been fighting bigger guys than me. You know, I feel like I'm the smallest heavyweight out there, and I do better when I fight bigger guys. So it's gonna be an exciting fight.
You know, I talked to your dad, and he told me that he felt like around the middle part of the fight is when you could potentially either take over or take him out. Just kind of, you know, elaborate a little bit on how you mentally see the fight going in the middle rounds.
Well, I feel in the beginning of the rounds, and all his fights in the beginning of his rounds, he's mostly dangerous, you know, in the beginning of the rounds. So the main thing, I just got to stay focused, stay cautious, be smart, and break him down, and then eat him up in the later round.
Kind of in a way like question Luis Ortiz's chin.
Yeah, well, you know, every punch is different, man. You know, we take punches. Hey, it's just hard, bro. It's hard. All punches hurt, man.
Yeah.
Even when Chris Arula hit me in the head and in the chin, they all hurt, man. It's just how you receive it and how you get back up to win that fight.
Your last fight, you had a 1 year inactivity. Prior to that, you also had a
Showtime. I see you, sir.
Showtime.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Where you gonna fight again, man?
I was talking about my fitness, and he was showing me a whole video of y'all running together, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, you're running on the side of the highway. He's like, oh, when are we going to be done with this shit, man?
Yeah, boy, you just talking about Peterson was about to have a fight. Yeah.
What's up, brother? How you, man?
Yeah. I think he's done with the NFL. You want to interview together? Can we go together? Is that good?
You want to go with that?
Yeah.
All right. You want to do it like this or right there?
Whatever.
210 Boxing TV here with Sean Porter. Here you are for the Andrew Ruiz, Luis Ortiz card. What do you think about the fight?
Great fight, great matchup. Stylistically, I mean, the whole nine, the size. I think there's going to be a lot of strategy involved on both sides. I'm really intrigued to see how this fight goes because both guys have been down early in their last fight. So I'm interested to see how that goes. If one guy gets knocked out early, the other guy is able to capitalize and finish it there. You know what I mean? I think their opponents in the last fights that they had, I don't think their opponents really had what it took to finish them. So in this fight, I think both guys, Luis and Andy both, I think they have what it takes to finish it early. So I'm really curious to see how this fight goes, man. I think the card overall too, man. This is a pay-per-view card. It's flying under the radar.
What do you think about Ryo and Pitbull, and then Abner, of course, coming back?
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves the Pitbull. Abner's coming back, which is just, it's mind-blowing when I seen the announcement, you know what I mean? So he looks good, he looks happy. And here's the interesting thing, you know, he's been off for about like 4 years, four or five years. And the interesting thing about that is you can go away and it can be good for you, you know what I mean? The time off can really be beneficial for you, you know what I mean? So obviously that remains to be seen. How you spend your time off, I think obviously makes a huge difference, but I'm hyped to see Abner in the ring.
Now, do you think Pitbull and Ryo can be a future fight? Because they've been fighting on the same undercards. Do you feel like that's what they're setting up for?
I don't think it's a future fight in terms of, I don't think it's going to happen next year. I don't think it's going to happen soon. I think Pitbull's a little further along than Venezuela. And I think I think that the people that are doing things for him, I think they know that he's further along. They shouldn't be looking back. for a guy younger, a guy who's undefeated.
Sean, I gotta ask you. You fought Bud Crawford and you fought EJ.
I'm not asking any questions about Terence and Errol. Those guys are great, and we're just waiting on that fight to get signed.
Everyone's saying November 19th. If you have to pick a winner, who you going with?
I just told you I wasn't asking no questions.
Is there something brewing that you heard about?
No. With those two guys, no. But the rumors are November, but the rumors were October, weren't they?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna answer questions in July, then I'm gonna answer questions in August, and then you know what I mean. Here's the thing, and it's like I said before. If I say anything about Errol, now all of a sudden I'm hating on Terence. If I say anything about Terence, now all of a sudden I'm hating on Errol. Both those guys are great. You put me in the middle of that,
they're gonna switch your words
like,
up.
What the hell? What am I gonna do? You know what I mean? So I want the heat until it's time for it to come.
Or what you said before the Porterweight podcast.
That too. You know what I mean? I did, man. I learned that I can't be stingy and not give you guys what you deserve as well.
But
so
Sean,
not saving anything for the Porterweight.
I gotta ask you, man. On this past Monday, we had a chance to speak to Canelo, and I don't know if you've heard, but he said that pretty much if Cejudo beats Bilbao, he wouldn't be willing to fight him because he's his fellow countryman, he's Mexican. People they made a big deal about it. I mean, I don't know if it's right or wrong. That's why I'm asking for your opinion. Where would you stand on Canelo deciding not to fight a Mexican moving forward? Because there's Cejudo, there's Munguia, Benavidez is half Mexican.
Yeah.
You know, like.
I mean, hey, once upon a time, me and Terence said we weren't never gonna fight. You know what I mean? That was once upon a time.
Guys are friends.
The thing just kind of changed and evolved. You know, so today that's how Canelo feels. I was surprised to hear that, like coming from you, but then quickly I reminded myself, like, hey, you've been in that position before too. You know, so maybe things have changed, but if not, I was in that position, so I do understand it and I do respect it. You know. Y'all may not like it, but
so
it
where is
is
he coming
what it
from
is.
then? Where's he coming? Where?
It's coming from a place of respect. It's coming from a place of. It's coming from a place of, and I'll speak for myself. For me, it just came from a place of me knowing Terence and feeling like that's my guy, and I just don't want to get in the ring. I have to hit my guy. And then for me, it just became a thing where my guy is the best guy out there, so I got to fight the best guy. You know, so I really did, man. I put aside, any sentiments I had for not wanting to hit him, not wanting to prepare for him, not wanting to look at him as an enemy or anything like that at all. And I don't know if that's something that Canelo can do. I do to a degree. I do think that it's interesting that he's saying, "Hey, that's my fellow countryman. I'm not going to fight him." So we'll see what happens.
Sean, Benavidez feel different. Obviously, they're in a different point. They want the Canelo fight. I mean, Cejudo's like, it's American ciditizen now. And Benavidez like, I'm half Ecuadorian. Like, we can still do it.
Everybody's like, yo, don't.
That's the way out of this.
Yeah. As they should, you know. They should, you know, even same time. Like it came to a point where I was like, I want to fight you, and Terence was like, hey, bro, nah, like, what did we talk about? And I'm like, it's you you know. So both those guys is like Cejudo and Benavidez is like, hey, don't forget, like, this is a game, this is a fight game. You know what I mean? So we in here to get the best, you know.
Yeah, sure.
So
Sean, Keith Thurman recently had an interview, saying that
Showtime.
Yeah.
With the white T-shirt on.
Basically, he was, he's not a gatekeeper, because people were trying to, I think Brian Custer was talking to him about boots.
Yeah.
But he was also talking, about Spence and Crawford. You've obviously been in the ring with all three guys. Is it kind of unfair for people to put Thurman in that? I mean, Thurman did beat all the guys Spence beat before Spence did.
Keith is my guy. Keith put himself in that position, and I don't think he put himself in that position on purpose. I do think that, and I don't speak candidly, I do think that he tried to control the business side of his career a little too much, and I think he tried to be a little too strategical, and I think that it did backfire on him to a degree. But I mean, he had injuries, things that he just could not control, and I think that his time away from the ring, it kind of just pushed him to the back, and it continued to push him to the back. So, even in his comeback fights, they weren't the old one time that we're used to seeing. And when you don't see that old one time, it's like, hey, who are you now? You are a gatekeeper. You are a has been, and things of that nature. I think, I said on the Porterway podcast that Keith, get back in the ring ASAP. It doesn't matter who you're getting in the ring with. Get back in the ring ASAP. And okay, so you don't want to be a gatekeeper. Then take on somebody who is on that same level that you just fought with Barrios. Dominate that dude, and then say, I'm ready for the big time. You can't stay away for so long, and then people expect people to still have that same respect for you. So it kind of just is what it is. Do I think he's a gatekeeper? No. Do I think he's on the verge of becoming a gatekeeper? Yes, because of his inactivity. So I think that's what people are looking at. They're just looking at him not being the same guy, and that's what the gatekeeper is. Gatekeeper is the guy who was great, but is not great anymore. You know. So
If we don't get Spence Crawford, right? Because we still don't have the announcement. So if we don't get it, if Keith is the next guy,
I want to see Keith get one more fight. Like a tuna fight. I think that people need to respect him coming back from everything. Get that last little tuna fight in. I mean, get it in ASAP, and then get ready to get in the ring with somebody who's up there. Because if you're not getting in the ring with them, now it's got to be Boots, or it's got to be Virgil Ortiz or Staniones, somebody like that. Yeah.
And Sean, I wanted to piggyback off of that topic there. The gatekeeper role at 147, how specifically dangerous is that spot? With, like you just said, you got Sharks up top and you got the young Lions on the bottom that will not take no for an answer.
Yeah, I don't really know like who is. I don't know. Do you guys even look? Do you look to see who's becoming the gatekeeper? Like, how does that even work?
I think it just happens.
The performances
make it happen.
Like it kind of like Keith is just kind of.
He's like getting there. If he's careful, like you said, if he doesn't get back in, I mean.
Yeah, like I don't.
He's got to get back in there.
I don't know, man. It's weird. I do think that the welterweight division is dangerous for everybody. I like to see. I did, man. I'm a big fan of Keith. Friends, blah 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 blah. I want to see him come back, and I want to see him have a great, fruitful career, not mediocre fights against mediocre guys and things of that nature. So
I want to ask you about a fight that no one really talks about too much, and that's Virgil Ortiz Jr. versus Staniones.
Yeah.
Stylistically, what do you think about that? They're not fighting, but what do you think about them if they did get together?
That's a
stylistically.
That's a clash right there. I don't remember who Staniones fought in his last fight, but
he fought Butayev.
Butayev.
Right. From India.
And that fight wasn't like as action-packed as I expected it to be. I think near the end it started to get to be that way. But that's what I see out of Ortiz and Staniones. I think it's an action-packed fight. Staniones does take a lot of shots, but he's really strong. So I don't know, man. That's a really interesting fight. I don't think it'll ever happen, but that is a really interesting fight.
I've been talking a lot.
It's a shame that some fights don't happen, man.
Definitely. I've been talking a lot to Blair Cobbs.
Yeah.
Blair Cobbs is hell-bent on fighting against Virgil Ortiz Jr. He is hell-bent on fighting Virgil Ortiz Jr. What do you think about that fight? Same promotional company. What do you think about those two if they did get together?
Blair's entertaining. You know, we have to say that, I think, first and foremost about Blair. I think Blair near the middle of that fight, I think he started to kind of find himself.
Versus Mo Hooker.
Yeah, against Hooker. Started to control the fight, and I think he got comfortable. But I think that the worst thing could happen in that is you kind of trick yourself into believing certain things. I don't know if he's ready for somebody like Virgil Ortiz, who's not going to stop coming, who has relatively good defensive turn. Blair's got to be perfect for an entire fight, not just, you know what I mean? So that's a tough fight for Blair. Entertaining for us, great for us, I think. How does that fight end? I think it ends with Virgil Ortiz getting his hand raised. But you had that comeback fight. You fight through a little adversity. You grow. Obviously, you get confident. So maybe there's something that Blair's got that we haven't seen. I like his movement. And I remember on the telecast they were saying he was moving too much. I don't agree with that. I like his movement. You guys know that I was moving. Excuse me. I like his movement, and I like how he keeps his guys off balance. That's exactly what you need against Virgil Ortiz. So maybe he's got something that we don't know, you know.
And my
Sean,
last question, my last question for you. You fought the big three, the who's who in this graduating class.
Who's your big three right now?
Well, what I'm saying is that Crawford, Spence, and Thurman. We mentioned them before.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you, out of those three, who was the heaviest puncher that you can remember?
All of them. All of them. What I always say is you don't feel it in the moment, you feel it the day after. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say. And I think it's been very clear who hit me with certain shots and how those shots affected me. I'm blessed and I'm grateful that I was able to stay strong, come back and be myself. And now after retiring and doing my examinations and things of that nature, everything's still good with me. Neurologically. Excuse me. So,
are you sure?
I was gonna say I think everything right there would suggest different. But my test actually went really good, and not that I had any worries, but after taking some of those shots from those guys and being in those wars and things of that nature, I'm grateful that I was able to do it. Some really classic events that I've been a part of, and I'm grateful.
Last one for me, man. You talked about Virgil and obviously Boots. I feel like those two guys are the two top lions kind of coming after the top of the division.
Boots and Staniones or Boots and Ortiz?
Boots and Ortiz, I was thinking. That one's a really, who knows if that ever happens, right? Because of promotional issues and stuff like that. But just the eye test with those two, do you lean one way or the other if they fought each other?
I lean towards Boots if he was to get in the ring with Virgil Ortiz. Boots is like just straight up special, man. I've said this before, I think he's like the closest thing we have to Roy Jones. And it remains to be seen, of course, like what he's able to really put together throughout his career. But, I'm talking about a guy who's just unbelievably athletic, quickness, agility, power, anticipation, reflexes, the whole nine. I do. I think that Boots is the guy at welterweight. I am a fan of Boots. I watched him, and I just said, like, what? This dude is different. You know what I mean? So that's hard to beat. With Virgil Ortiz, you can pick the things that he's good at, and you can pick the things that he needs to improve on. I guess, for the sake of words, we haven't seen anybody challenge Boots enough to see what he needs to work on. But then guess what? Is it those guys or is it Boots? You know what I mean? So he's great.
I like the Iversons, by the way.
Oh yeah, come on now. Come on now. I was hoping. Come on now, Reebok, holla at me. Showtime Shop P. Should I leave my email? Podcast sponsor. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
I had to make that joke. They say you got stuck on neurologically.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was fucking hilarious. You like that? That was fucking hilarious.
That was funny. Stupid, man. Think about it.
The fans are going to say
right.
that you said that. 100 out of 100 fans are going to say that.
Okay, what am I doing here?
Además, pero ya ha retirado ahora como comentarista.
Life after boxing.
Card reader, I think. Yeah.
Life after your sport, things of that nature. So it keeps me really busy.
right, my peeps. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, I think that's it. So, appreciate you guys. And see you tomorrow or something like that? Tomorrow or Saturday? Saturday for sure for the Wayne. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe.